What's up guys, this is Danny from Rethink Peer-to-Peer Lending. Welcome back to yet another portfolio update on my channel. In today's video, we will review the performance of my peer-to-peer lending portfolio in March, as well as discuss some adjustments that I have made last month. Before we get started, I would like to mention the annual community voting, where you can rate your experiences with 30 different peer-to-peer platforms on a scale from 1 to 5. If you would like to contribute, please find the survey link in the video description below. Last month, I was able to generate a total of 773 euros from my peer-to-peer lending portfolio, which is the highest income I have ever had coming from this asset class. A new record in terms of my personal income from individual peer-to-peer platforms was set last month by Esketit with 270 euros. The best overall performance in my portfolio comes from Income Marketplace with 13.31%, followed by PeerBerry with 12.38% and ViaInvest with 11.13%. The red lantern is still carried by Bondora Portfolio Pro with 1.16%. In March, I had a total of 5 transactions in my peer-to-peer portfolio, with each 1,000 euros being deposited on PeerBerry, Crowdpear and Fintown, while I had a withdrawal of 1,000 euros from Lande and 200 euros from Bondora Portfolio Pro. The value of my outstanding peer-to-peer portfolio increased to 93,660 euros last month, which is once again a personal best for me personally. Next up, a few updates from a number of peer-to-peer platforms and a few changes to my portfolio. PeerBerry has published some exciting news from their long-term and crisis-proven partner Aventus, which recently communicated its unofficial business figures for 2023. The Aventus Group, which employs over 3,000 people in 17 countries, generated a net profit of 53.8 million euros in 2023, which would correspond to an increase of 260% compared to the previous year, while having a reported equity of nearly 82 million euros. A step backwards, however, is happening with my total return on PeerBerry, which now decreased from 13.07% to 12.38% in the last 6 months. Since the overall return is still among the best in my portfolio, I'm not worried or concerned at all, so PeerBerry will continue to be a core pillar in my portfolio for the foreseeable future. On Esketit, my streak of 15 months in a row with new deposits came to an end last month. The reason being is the ongoing cash drag situation in the previous months, which made it harder for me to facilitate new deposits on the platform. At one point in March, my uninvested funds even increased to above 9,000 euros. According to Esketit CEO Vitalis Tsalovs, the main reason for the drop in supply is related to the Ramadan in Jordan, which means lending volumes are about 20% lower than usual. Meanwhile, the acquisition of HeavyFinance by Capitec Bank from South Africa had no influence on the lower supply. Capitec Bank, which has already owned 40% of the shares in HeavyFinance Holding since 2017, secured the majority stake a few weeks ago for a purchase price of 26.3 million euros. Before I was able to think about withdrawing my funds, I found loads of new Jordan loans on the primary market towards the end of the month. Although I didn't want them in my portfolio for the time being due to the conflict in the Middle East, I then decided to commit for a short 30-day loan period in order to avoid further cash drag. In the long run, I want to keep the proportion of the Jordan loans as low as possible in my portfolio, so this can be considered as an exception for the time being. The positive trend at Income Marketplace continued also last month. After Vivos had repaid their liabilities towards investors and new lender Current Auto was added to the marketplace, the supply of new loans is now noticeably higher than before, while the often criticized Auto Invest functionality has been consistently picking up more loans as of late. As a result, the outstanding portfolio has recently increased to above 10 million euros for the first time this year. Personally, I am positive this trend will continue for the time being, as according to my info, Income is about to finalize the agreements with 2 more lenders, which could then be listed on the marketplace in the upcoming weeks. On Crowdpear, there have been no major changes in the previous month, as the total outstanding portfolio remains at around 7 million euros, with no delays or defaults being in sight. Due to the slight increase of new loans, a further 1,000 euros have been deposited on the platform in March. On HeavyFinance, my portfolio maintains a positive performance, with only one of my 35 loans being late for more than 90 days. The somewhat lower return of only 7.56% is largely due to green loans in my portfolio, where still no carbon credits have been sold as of today. With HeavyFinance communicating the first assurance of carbon credits happening in Q1 2024, the progress is equally slow as for me during my recent trip on the Peruvian mountain Palcoyo. According to recent news from the platform itself, the reason being for the delay is the growing carbon credit market, which is leading to delays for verification organizations like HeavyFinance partner Verra. The new schedule is now predicting the first carbon credit assurance from September 2024 onwards. And lastly, we look at Lande, a platform that failed to report any success regarding my messed up account balance from October 2023 due to some secondary market transactions. Considering this issue, I was surprised about Lande's recent communication, which indicated resolved IT issues and considerations of reintroducing the secondary market. Lande argued my weak return comes from the amount of bullet loans in my portfolio, which would then impact the cash flow based XIR return. An explanation that seems logical and understandable. The problem is, while I was only able to generate an income of nearly 10 euros in May 2023, my overall performance fell by 0.42%. In October 2023, however, I generated more income than in the previous month, yet my total return dropped by 2.27%. So the cash flow related logic doesn't really apply in my case. After going through the renewed and corrected account statements again, I realized the account value was now 9.50 euro higher at the end of September and 10.52 euro higher at the end of October. However, this still doesn't explain why my account value fell by around 110 euros in October 2023. As I am slowly losing faith in the platform's ability to solve this issue, I am now wondering how to move forward with my investment on Lande. Should I remain loyal to a platform that manages to lose around 110 euros in funds due to IT problems? And taking this problem into account, does a total return of 8.12% correspond to Lande's risk profile? To be honest, I am slowly coming to terms with ending my investment on Lande should there be no solution found in the upcoming months, as I believe the magnitude of this is simply too big to ignore and move past. So this has been an update on my recent portfolio developments. If you found this video helpful, please leave an interaction below the video and consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content like this in the future. So long, take care guys, bye bye.